everyone. Welcome back to another week of Operation Evil, episode 28. We read it and said it. We search for interesting, creepy, morbid, killer questions, experiences, and comments on Reddit to talk about today. I'm your host, Nyoka.
And I'm Rachel.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's just take a moment to welcome any new listeners. Hello.
Welcome.
And thank you to the ones who keep coming back. Thanks. We appreciate it. We love you guys and appreciate your support. One more thing. We hope you guys had a very happy holiday and New Year's, because this will be released after the New Year. So, yeah, here's to 2022. Let's keep growing the podcast.
To a better year.
That's right. Now on with the show. So we picked some interesting topics.
Wait,
to
you're famous.
Discuss.
You're famous.
What?
You're famous.
I'm famous?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. You're famous. So we both kind of picked stuff that we thought would be fun to talk about, something different from our normal murder case.
But still evil-ish.
Absolutely. Operation Evil, it's got to have some evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. So let's pull up. Let's see here. Do you want me to read the first one?
Go ahead.
All right. What was the scariest moment you've had on a date? Rachel, did you have any scary moments ever on a date?
I've never been on a date.
And she's married. I can't say I've ever had a scary moment on a date, but let's see what other people said, because I did find one comment pretty interesting. And okay, this one says, I was once told in the car coming back from the date that I would look good in a coffin. I swear to God that I left his car in the middle of nowhere, and yet I felt safer than sitting next to him.
That's pretty bad.
That is bad. Somebody was like, how did you leave? She goes, literally jumped off. Still, I was nice. I told him I didn't like what he had said to me and told him to pull over, and then I left. I didn't want to risk, since there was a big covered plastic bag in the back
Oh my
seat
God.
with something in it. Watching all these crime stories all my life made me really conscious at that very moment. Paid off later in life, I found out that there was an axe in this plastic
way.
bag. Somebody was like, how did you find that out? She said, I really think it kind of was. And if you're wondering, no red flags before that night. Looking back right now, it was that very moment. I know he had some kind of problem with himself. And I think women in general. The axe story. A reverse situation. Somebody was giving him a lift. All three of us live in a tiny, tiny town away from the main city, and he was wandering the road to the city all alone. We're going to fast forward this a little bit. Blah, 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 blah. We don't care what he was doing. Okay.
We don't need details.
To sum up, she was just nice about it. I'm trying to figure out what happened to his car. I'm not sure what exactly he had said to her, heard thousands versions from other people's mouths, but this time the lady stopped the car, told him to get off, and was in such a furious mode that instead of going for a night shift to her work, she went straight to the police station. Day later, they showed up at his place, and that's how we all found out that he had an axe in this bag. So I guess another girl went through that too. There you go. But anyway. Just to clarify, he's 6 years older than me. I don't see how that is really relevant, but that's fine. That's fine. Fun facts. Let's see. Let's go to another one. Okay, Rachel, you want to read this one?
What's a scary science fact that the public knows nothing about? Probably lead.
Okay, why is that?
If you get lead poisoning, even if it's from circumstances outside your control, you're just permanently damaged from the point onward. It can mess up brain functioning, lower intelligence, and so on. And there's no way to treat that. And to that, the fact that lead is beep everywhere and it becomes terrifying. But that's why they quit making paint with lead in it.
Yeah. People were licking the walls and stuff, right?
I mean, if you've ever... or like those toy cars.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever had WIC for your child.
Yeah.
For people that don't know what that is, that's like... that maybe you're outside the U.S. Maybe you don't know what that is. But it's like a service that you can get where the government helps you buy food and milk and stuff for your child.
Yeah.
But you have to go like once a year to their doctors to get checkups and things. And that's one of the things that they check for is the lead.
I didn't know that.
Maybe they don't do it anymore, but I know when we had WIC for a while.
Yeah, we did too. We did too. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's like radium poisoning too. I just watched that Radium Girls, and that was pretty interesting. Nyoka and I were talking today about like Coke. Like in 100 years, they're gonna say like how bad it was for you. Duh.
Yeah, I know.
It cleans rust.
Yeah. People can clean the highways with it.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of frightening if you think about like we consume these things.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie Dark Water?
Yes. That's about the DuPont, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That
DuPont.
that was crazy.
Yeah. That story though is like it hits home.
It does, because then you're like, do I have any Teflon skillets in my house?
And then they changed it to what, like Califont something with
something
a C.
like that.
It sounds like cellophane, but it's not cellophane.
I don't know, but if you haven't watched that movie, I recommend it. It kind of scare you a little bit.
Did you ever, like, you're cooking eggs or something in a hot pan, and there's pieces of black specks in your eggs?
Yes, that's poison.
Yeah, that's that stuff.
Yeah, that's creepy.
And did you see too where they say that like if they test our blood, everybody born after a certain year has that poison, whatever it's called, in their blood. There's a percentage in everyone's.
Would that be us too? Would
Probably,
that be our generation?
Yeah.
It probably would.
Yeah, because we were like ultimately raised on that, and like that plastic. What is it, BPA or whatever?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're poisoned.
We're poisoned. What else do they say on this? Did you read where it could mess up brain functioning, lower intelligence, and so on? Okay.
That next part, it's everywhere.
Because of leaded gas. 20 years after leaded gas was taken off the market, there was a measurable decrease in violent crimes and the rate of learning disabilities in grade school children and an increase of high school graduates. A lot of research links to it to the decrease in lead.
Huh.
Okay.
50% of insects have disappeared from 1970. Insect population is down 27% in the last 30 years, declining between 1% and 4% each year, depending on the genus.
That's so crazy.
Well, bees. I mean, they say that bees.
Yeah.
Extinction. When you get killed by army ants, it's not bites that kill you. It's invasion of the lungs.
Okay. All right. We also have the links to these on our show notes in case if you want to go back and read through any of these, because some of them, there's just so many comments that there is no way we're going to sit here and read all these comments to you. We just kind of like browse through them and see which ones like grab our attention. So there was that. Okay, so I thought this was pretty interesting. It's this guy's story. He called it, "She Was Dead and I Didn't Know It."
Oh.
He said, "I posted this earlier this year, but I since deleted the account while I figured some things out in my life. Now I'm back on Reddit and wanted to tell this experience again. This happened back in 2015. At the time, I was 21. Every morning, I would wake up to go for a run. I had developed a route that was a giant loop. One side of the loop was up in the main street of a small Utah town that I was living in at the time. My twin brother would go running at the same time I did, but he would run the loop in the opposite direction that I did. One morning, I was running down the main street and I was passing this apartment building. In front of the building was a cluster of trees. My view of the tree cluster in the building was obscured by a tall hedge, so I couldn't really see them until I was right in front of the building and past the tall hedge. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a woman standing among the trees and staring at me. A chill runs up my back, and I keep my eyes forward as I didn't want to be rude and look back at her. It feels as if she follows me as I run past. I keep on running, and this creepy encounter slips from my mind. I pass my twin about 2 miles later and finish my run. I get home, and my twin isn't back yet, which is strange because he normally beats me back since he is in better shape than I was at the time. He shows up an hour later and tells me what happened to him.
Oh, wow.
Since the direction he was running in does not have a giant hedge to obscure his view, he sees the woman among the trees. Only she wasn't standing like I had perceived. She is hanging by her neck.
Oh my gosh.
My twin gets closer to the trees and realizes what he has seen. A man comes running out of one of the apartments, wailing. He picks her up and sets her on the ground and lets out wails of mourning. My twin calls the police and stays to give a report.
Oh my gosh.
Although I didn't realize what I've seen out of the corner of my eye that morning until my twin told me, I think back on that and a chill still runs up my back as I remember the stare I saw out of the corner of my eye from a woman who was not alive. Yeah. Somebody was like, that's pretty terrifying. When I was really young, I heard a murder in my apartment and it was scary as hell.
Have you ever heard anything that you thought could be?
Like a murder or something? No. Have you?
No.
Somebody else said, a body is just a body, my friend. It doesn't emit anything to clue you in to its presence unless it's been dead long enough to create odors, of course. Don't beat yourself up.
No, they were trying to make them feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say?
That is, I can't even imagine. That's a crazy story. I had to share it with you.
Did he ever go back? I wonder if he ever went back to that spot, if they jogged there again.
He hasn't said, but no one has asked that question. Somebody said, oh God, why do I do this to myself before bed?
Look at that one right there.
This one, all the scared faces.
The one down right there.
I saw this.
This one.
Oh, man.
That's bad. We're not going to repeat that.
No. But some people remember reading this story from before. So somebody said this is just weird. This is going to stick with me. I think this is going to stick with me too. I mean, that is just really creepy.
Yeah, because just to picture it.
Yeah. So let's go to the next one. You want to do this one?
Which serial killer do you find the most terrifying?
Who do you find the most terrifying?
Do you have your answer?
Yeah, I think I do, and we haven't covered him yet. For me, I'm going to say the Night Stalker.
Oh, yeah. Coming at night.
Yeah, and his like victim profile changed and stuff. So once they thought, I think if I remember correctly, people thought he went for this certain type and he went for another type too.
Yeah, because his age
like
is
older
ranged,
and younger,
right?
Yeah. So no one was really safe, which is why I would put him. We need to cover him.
Yeah, because there is, over the years, I've found out more things about him that I didn't know. And just the story of how people grabbed him and beat the crap out of him, like, that's a heroic, to share their story would be heroic, like, I'm sorry, like, their heroic act of, like, they took him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be. He didn't get caught for a while either, did he? Or did he?
I think it was a while, 5 to 10 years?
Maybe. Yeah, we need to cover him.
Oh my God, I don't know. Like, the Zodiac Killer comes to mind because of the whole mask thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But also then, which we just talked about in our Patreon, Iceman,
Yes.
because you can't read him. There's no, he's just like a psychopath. Like,
Yeah.
there's no,
you can't tell if he's lying or not.
yeah, and don't disrespect me kind of thing. But this is kind of like, you won't be surprised, but it's kind of like not the norm. The terrorists that attacked on 9/11.
That's true. That's true. That one sticks with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we might have to cover that someday.
Yeah, because I mean, I would classify them as serial killers.
Yeah, for sure. That I would love to know what you guys think. You can always write us and let us know. Let's go to the next one. What are some deaths that shocked you to your core? Several people said Robin Williams. We've had a lot of celebrity deaths in the last few years.
Yeah. Chris Cornell, which someone mentions on here.
Yep.
And Chester Bennington.
Yep. There was Prince.
Yeah.
Somebody said Paul Walker. There was, you know, which one always gets me too is Brittany Murphy.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that whole thing was weird. I don't know if you've watched, there was some kind of documentary. I can't remember where I watched it or whatever, but I don't know. Something is fishy about her whole
because what was it? They said that her husband died first, and they thought it was pneumonia or something, or she had pneumonia.
No, she died first, and then he died.
Oh, okay. Wasn't there?
But the mom was living there or something.
Wasn't there talk about mold in the house or something too? Or am I just making that up?
I can't remember mold in the house, but
I might be relating that to something about pneumonia.
Either way, it just didn't seem like a natural thing. I don't know.
Very fishy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very fishy.
You know who gets me is Liam Neeson's wife.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because I don't remember her name or anything, but she was skiing and she hit her head and like she died from that.
Oh.
So I just think that's so tragic.
That's a freak accident.
Yes. It bothers me.
No, yeah. I didn't know that.
I love him.
I know you do. I know you love him. Some people said Kobe.
You know what? That was really terrible too.
Yes. That was like a plane. No. Helicopter crash.
And it was his daughter.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
That was really devastating.
And then there was Tom Petty. Let's see what else people said here. The Ultimate Warrior and Strange from WWE.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what's that one guy? Was it Chris Benoit or the one that killed his wife? And then he killed himself? I think that was him.
Maybe. I'm really bad with names. Somebody said Princess Diana.
Oh yeah, the whole world was like affected by that.
Somebody said anything animal related. And I relate to this person's comment because I do feel like I get more upset over animals. I don't know why.
Because they're helpless.
I know. I think that's what it is. They are helpless. And you know, another death that bothers me, and we need to cover this one too, is the John Bonet case.
Yeah.
Like if somebody said, I can tell you who the killer is to any case you want to know, but you get to pick one, I think I would pick that case. Like, I want to know.
Yeah, because looking back, watching interviews and stuff, her parents, just the devastation on their face.
Yeah, I would just love to know. I would love to know who did that one. This is one of those things, like, I don't know. It's like all the people we grew up listening to or watching in movies and stuff are dying.
Oh, Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, yes.
Peter Steele from Typo Negative, like.
Yeah. The guy from The Crow.
Brandon Lee. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Horrible.
Didn't Christopher Reeves die? I mean, it was shocking when he was injured and became paralyzed from, wasn't it like a horse accident?
Yeah.
That was shocking.
Yeah. What about the guy that was the musician that people have a hard time, like Ozzy.
Oh, Randy Rhoads.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
And that leads to Stevie Ray Vaughan, too.
Yes.
It's weird how they died, like, the same way.
Yeah.
I think it was helicopter for Stevie Ray Vaughan.
I'm not sure. I don't know. There's so many. Oh, we could probably keep going and going on that one.
You know, I saw something else on here when I was looking through. It was interesting because someone had a point. They said, why is it that we invest more time and more thought into people like celebrities, people that we don't even know, than people that we do know? Isn't that something interesting to think about?
It is, and they're just people too.
Yeah, and you don't even know them. I guess it's because some of us can be guilty of taking people for granted. Maybe that would be my only answer. Do you have any answer for it? Ponder.
I think we're just so afraid of death itself, the subject.
Ah, like in denial.
It's just not normalized, and well, it's normalized, I guess. We just ignore the fact that everything's temporary here. Yeah.
And you put people in a box and nothing can happen to those people.
Yeah. That wouldn't happen to me. That wouldn't happen to them. That wouldn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess for somebody that hasn't experienced much death in their lives, I can see that. I've experienced way too many.
Yeah. At such a young age.
Yeah. Yeah. So it really depends, like, I guess on, I don't know, your luck of the draw when you experience that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. How can you tell if your ex is a murderer? We once talked about the easiest way to kill a person, drowning in our local lake so it looks like an accident. And he recently had an accident at the lake at night where a friend drowned. He has now dated the friend's girlfriend. Did I date a killer?
Oh.
Isn't that fascinating?
That's a big coincidence.
Huge. And now he's dating the dead guy's girlfriend? Let's see what people said about this. Somebody said, if you're seriously concerned, I'd recommend placing a tip to your local authorities and let the professionals figure it out. Yes. I think that's great advice.
Definitely.
Do the police know of this coincidence? If you tell them, please stay away from lakes. You think? Let's see. So OP, which is original poster, because I didn't know what that meant for a while. Okay, she said, right, I don't know what I would be able to say to the police because it's circumstantial, but it's weird. He was always the quiet kid in school, a little weird, but he was sweet, and then we dated. Something just feels off about the whole situation, though, and it creeps me out.
But remember, every small detail counts.
It really does. Somebody asked the original poster, has there been an investigation? And she said, no, our lake is known for having lots of drownings, about 20 to 30 a year. And the weather wasn't great that night, so it was just another accidental drowning. I just can't get my head around why they would be out in freezing weather on an icy pier with 20-foot waves going for a stroll. It just doesn't make any sense.
I would still tell them.
Yeah. Somebody said, well, if you were the one to break off the relationship and you're still alive, I guess he's not a murderer. I don't know if I agree with that because maybe he wanted that dude's girlfriend because he's dating her now. I mean, you don't know. A lot of people are just suggesting for that person to call the police and just let them know so they can look into it.
I mean, it could just be a coincidence, but what if it's not?
I mean, somebody said, I talk a lot about the easiest way to kill people. Want to report me too. And
I mean, we do make jokes about like,
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate
what
that
would the
person.
perfect murder be? You know, that sort of thing.
Or I'm going to kill you.
And the poster said, so do I, obviously. Me and him had the conversation, and I thought it was normal. But when you talk, I can't say this word.
I can't either. Specifics.
You did it.
I have to like enunciate
It always comes out funny when I say it. And then someone later ends up dead that same way. It raises red flags. And they said, if it raises red flags, I would have been caught. I would have called in by the police a million times now.
There's a couple of great guys that we work with that would say, go with your gut.
Yeah. Isn't that fascinating?
It is.
There's no more new updates. And that was 3 years ago. I wonder if I went to that poster's page, if there's anything more.
What if he's the one that's killing all these people at the lake? Why is there so many drownings?
Right.
Put up a fence or something.
I don't see anything more on this, so.
What is that doing there randomly? There's a picture of a Jeep and it says became a Jeep girl today.
Because she got a Jeep?
But what's that got to do with it?
Nothing. That's just another post she has, I guess. Okay. I can get out.
Look at that snow.
Like, where do you live? Because I don't want to go there. Where's this
She's got
lake?
a Jeep, though, so she'll be okay.
True. Oh, okay. Let's see here. You want to read this one?
What is the most evil or immoral thing have you ever thought about doing? That sentence is kind of like confusing to me.
Because it is confusing.
Is it missing a word?
I think it is.
So what is the most evil or immoral thing that you've ever thought about doing?
Wait, what is this? What did the poster say?
I always have the urge to push over little children.
Oh my God.
Whenever I see them standing up, little children falling over gives me something to laugh about. Gives me a sense of pride. Holy shit, I am an awful person. No, I don't agree that you're a totally awful person, and I have a child, okay? But there's this, it's not a meme, it's like a video, and there's this kid. They use it like a meme where they use it for a lot of things, and this little kid, he's like running, and he comes around this corner, and he makes a stupid face, and like, ooh. And I'm like, I just want to push that thing down. Look how dumb its face looks. I want to push it down.
Yes, they're intrusive thoughts. And it's funny. I just watched a TikTok video because I'm one of those people that watches TikTok videos all the time. But this girl's like telling this story. She's like, yeah, I was giggling because I was holding like this knife or a pair of scissors or something. And her boyfriend was like bent over. And she said, she started laughing. And he's like, what? And she's like, oh, I just had a thought that what about if I stabbed you with these scissors or knife? And he's like, what? Like, have you thought about doing this before? She's like, no, you know, when you like think of something, but you wouldn't do it. But, you know, that thought comes to mind. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I thought you were going to say that she said like sticking it up his butt or something.
That would be an intrusive thought, right? But he was like, no, this isn't normal. But I think it is.
Intrusive thoughts are terrible.
They are. But you know what's funny is when she was getting ready to tell this story and she's laughing, like I knew where she was going with it.
Like you already were thinking?
Yes. Yeah, like I knew where she was going.
You know those DNA things? Like the ancestry things or whatever?
Yeah.
So an intrusive thought, you should tell us an intrusive thought you have too.
Okay.
But I'm scared to send away for that because I'm afraid that I'm going to go to jail. Why? I don't know. I haven't done anything, but I'm still scared.
You just can never do anything because they'll have your DNA.
Remember, though, I was so excited because I bought it.
You still haven't done it?
No, I'm scared too.
Rachel. Oh my God. Rachel,
what if
do it?
What if my DNA gets tied to something and I go to prison? I cannot watch those like Orange is the New Black and stuff like that.
Yeah, why?
Because I get anxiety that I'm going to go to prison. Don't you
You have to do something wrong first.
But there's people that haven't done anything wrong and they go to prison because they're accused of something.
That's true, but I mean...
You never think stuff like that? Like, what's an intrusive thought that's kind of silly that you have?
I don't know. It's going to make me sound horrible if I say it. I don't know if I should say it.
I bet it won't.
Okay. I'm probably going to regret this. Like if we're on a road that's kind of like
secluded?
Yes. And there's somebody on this road walking or running, I think I could snatch them up, or like they could get killed by somebody or something, and like there's nobody to witness it. Isn't that horrible?
You know what? I'm sure that 9 out
or
of 10
I can
people
hit them
think
with my
stuff
car
like
or
that.
something, but I would never.
Right.
I would never do that. But
you don't have the conscience or whatever to do that.
yeah.
Or you have a conscience.
Yeah. Or if there's like a bag or something on the side of the road, I'm like,
is it a
there
dead body?
Mm-hmm. There's a body there. There's some.
Do you, when you drive by woods, if you're driving, but if you're in the car,
Yeah.
are you looking in the woods trying to see if you see
Yes.
something?
Yes.
Do the same thing.
Oh my God.
People think stuff like that. They just don't say it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're saying it. We're not weird. I mean, we are a little bit, but we're not people that would hurt somebody.
No. We would probably
We just
cry.
get the thought. Intrusive thoughts. Let's see what other people said.
Speaking of intrusive, do you think of things like, and I want to know if anybody else thinks this too, but remember me telling you about the man that his car broke down on the bridge going over from Ohio to Kentucky, okay?
Mm-hmm.
His car broke down, someone stopped to help him, and then an accident happened, and it caused him to be knocked off the bridge into the river. Do you think about when stuff like that happens, do you obsess about that person?
No.
Never mind.
No, I mean, you have that really good heart. Like you. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about Rachel. She's
you
obsessed.
have a good heart too.
No, but you are on a different level, like the 9/11 thing that you're obsessed with, and she knows every survivor's name, their story, their background, what they were doing that day, how many kids they have, if they were married or not. I mean, she knows everything about these people. I couldn't tell you one name.
I could look at a picture and be like, oh, they were blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that person that fell off the bridge into the river, that is horrific. And I would never think about it again. Isn't that horrible? And it's not that I don't care. It's just that I don't know. I don't dwell on that, I guess. I just think that's horrible. And then I just go on.
Yeah. I mean, maybe your mind is like, let's not think about that, because if you did really think about it,
it could be.
It would be bad.
Yeah. Because I do have a tendency just to push things under the rug that I don't want to focus on. So
it just made me, I don't know, this topic made me think about that. I just want to know if anybody else does that, or if it's just me.
Let us know.
Help.
Help Rachel. Oh, yeah. Let's see what other people said here.
In a soup at a wedding, nonetheless. Wait, what was the question?
Oh, we're talking about like intrusive thoughts. Oh, and that in the poster said pushing over little kids. And it gives them something to laugh about. And it gives them a sense of pride.
You're a funny person.
So I said, don't forget taking their eyes out with a spoon.
Oh my God.
Then unknowingly feeding their loved ones the corpses of those who annoyed you.
Someone said, I feel the oddest urge to make chili tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Somebody said I'm strangely okay with that. Make someone fall in love with me and then break their hearts by being somewhat evilly demonic, yet having them be in love. No physical abuse, just emotional, and F with their minds, or simply skin them alive. Would I ever do such a thing? Probably not, but it scares me that I could think of this.
That reminds me of like a joke that you would say.
Somebody said I've done that. The breaking hearts thing, not skinning anyone alive. It's a powerful feeling, but it can F with your head as bad as theirs.
Oh.
What if, like, hold on. What I like to do is wait until they start flirting with me, and then I walk out on them saying something like, "Are you really doing this? Seriously?" I've had intrusive thoughts all my life. I've thought of walking up to someone I hate and just shooting them in the head. I also think about how easy it would be to get away with murder.
Mm.
Okay.
You need counseling.
Yeah, I thought mine was bad. Mine's like nothing compared to this stuff. After playing BioShock, I have the urge to hit someone over the head with a golf club. Oh my gosh. I hate the way my brain thinks. For instance, I will have a pair of scissors and I will see a girl with long hair. Brain says, "Hey bro, cut her hair, she won't mind." I find myself going over this situation for half an hour before I think of something else.
Person, we need to be friends. Was that 9 years ago?
Yes.
Willosaurus Rex, we need to find you.
Can we be friends?
How are you doing these days?
Have you cut anyone's hair? Telling everyone at school about my bully pulling out his D at random times and shoving things up his all the time. He's one of the most popular guys in school, but he's made 3 years of my life hell. So yeah, I'd probably kill his reputation. I'd love it.
Why didn't you do it?
Wow. Okay.
Bullies are just the worst.
They are. Killing my ex-husband when he was trying to get custody of my daughter when she was 6 years old. The mind games he was playing with her, how he'd scare her that she wouldn't be allowed to go home and then tell her not to tell me. Then cowardly, he would abruptly leave the Providence when I wouldn't back down and left me to tell my daughter that he moved on. That he moved, and no, sweetie, I don't know why, but he loves you, and I'm sure he'll call you as soon as he can, blah, blah, blah. I can handle all the threats and verbal abuse he hurled at me, but tearing apart a child emotionally punishable crime as far as I'm concerned. He's not worth it. I rely on karma to deal with it.
I can totally understand that.
Yeah. Somebody said to set my school on fire.
That's probably most teenagers' thoughts.
Definitely.
Although we don't want to say that because delete that.
Delete.
Yes, you have to be careful what you say now when it comes to...
Wait, we're not in school. What are we worried about?
What if we have someone of age listening?
Don't catch your school on fire.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. We're like old. We don't have any school to break down.
It's hard to remember, though, that you got to be careful what you say now because people take stuff literally.
Disclaimer. Everything we talk about on this show, on every episode, is not meant for any harm, for anyone to do anything, or take our advice in any sort of way.
Double disclaimer.
Double. There we go. I think I took care of it. That was so fun. That was very fun. And if you guys like this sort of thing, we find it really fun to do every once in a while.
To give our little brains a break.
Yes. Especially from the holidays. This was nice. This was fun. And for those of you who are interested, I think we're going to stop our Reddit reads right here on our regular episode. But me and Rachel are going to keep going. We got a few more in our back pockets to talk about.
And they're a little juicier.
They are. We saved some really good ones. And this is going to be for our January bonus episode on our Patreon. So if you're interested in hearing this and the other bonus episodes that were posted prior, consider supporting the podcast. There are many perks and 3 tiers to choose from. But regardless of what tier you pick, you will have a shout out from us and access to bonus episodes. At least we will have one per month, at least 30 minutes long. And that is exclusive to you guys who support the show. You can find our Patreon link in our show notes. You can also find us on Facebook, and that will also have our link on there as well. And we released our theme song for the podcast on Patreon for tiers 2 and 3. Check it out. It's really cool. I have it on my phone now, so it's fun. It's just the little things.
And also you get a little goodie bag when signing up.
If you're in tier 2 or 3. But it's okay if you're in tier 1 because you still get
a bonus episode.
And us shouting out hello. I mean,
maybe you can sign up for the first tier and then maybe you like it and then you can upgrade.
Exactly. You can upgrade at any time. But, okay, so with that being said, we're going to keep this rolling and move on to the bonus episode. We'll be back with you regular folks next week, and we will be back to some murder cases. All right. Bye.
Bye.